Okay folks, I'm here on the deck, flight deck, and I'm going to demo putting coordinates in the J109 or the um, GBU 31 version 4, which is the penetrator model. Now, what I've already done is I've loaded the weapons and I put each of the weapons in the TOO mode so that they can accept waypoint designated coordinates. It's just easier to put the coordinates in that way rather than to type in the lat long for each weapon in the pre-plan mode. So this will kind of act like pre-plan once we get airborne, because everything will be set and all we have to do is hit the pickle when we get to the target, pretty much. So without any further ado, like I said, I've got everything in TOO, and I'm going to go down on my MPCD and set that up first. You've seen this in an earlier video, but I'm going to go through it again because it pertains somewhat. So first of all, I'm on the HSI page on the MPCD, and I'm going to hit Data, and then I'm going to hit the Sequence UFC, so I have the information I need up on the UFC panel. Looking at the bottom of the MPCD, you see all the waypoints that I've got available to me. There are others, but they're beyond the range of what you can see here at the bottom there. First of all, we don't want waypoints 0 or 1, so I'm going to delete both of those. So I hit delete 0, enter, and delete 1, enter. I want to add our IP, which is insert 15, and I want to add our target, so I'm going to insert 16. Okay, now I want to designate 16 as the target, so I'm going to hit target, enter, and it boxes the number 16 on the MPCD. Now I'm going to put in our ground speed, and this is the ground speed from the IP to the target of 500 knots. That keeps our ground speed high going into the target, and that's I'm going to be going much faster than 500, but 500 is kind of keeps the pace going, and it's somewhat fuel conservative for the majority of the flight. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to enter the coordinates into the weapons. So let's take on the MPCD, I'm going to move the waypoints on the right side there all the way up to the first target, which is 16. I've already mentioned that. The coordinates are in there, and I'm going to go to precise. So we have the precise coordinates, because we obviously want that. Okay, so now what I do is I just make sure I'm on station, the first one that's going to come off, which is station 8, on the DDI2. And I'm going to go ahead and hit display and mission. It says station 8 at the top. Right now there's no coordinates, so I'm on the MPCD. I'm going to go back to HSI, and I'm going to hit waypoint designate, which drops coordinates in there. Then on the DDI, I'm going to step to the next station, and then on the MPCD, I'm going to step to the next waypoint. I'm going to waypoint designate that one. It dumps coordinates on the DDI. I step again on the DDI, and I step again on the MPCD, and I weapons designate that one. Then I step again on the MPCD, and I waypoint designate the final weapon. So now all 4 weapons have coordinates, and we'll verify that. First thing I want to do is I want to just move my waypoints back to 2, because that's where I want to pick it up at. And you'll see why in a second here. Okay, and I want to just verify I have 4 different sets of coordinates in the weapon, so I'm going to step through each one. This is station 8, and if you look at the last 2 numbers, it's 98, 93, 90, 16, 45, 75, and 80, 96. So 4 different sets of coordinates, and that's good, and I want to leave it at station 8. And let's see, I think that's good. I'm going to return real quick briefly just to see, make sure I've got everything good. The weapons are good. So they're all set to go. So I'm going to go back to the weapon stores page so I can watch them come off when I get to the target. Back on the MPCD, I'm going to go back to hitting data to the waypoint page. I'm on waypoint 2, which is the first low-level waypoint we're going to hit. And I want to put in my time on target. So this sequence, if I look at my DDI1, there's no required ground speed. But as soon as I put in my time on target, it will show that up. So I'm going to lock the sequence. So now I can't get outside that sequence. And I'm going to put in my time on target. So I'm going to go up here, put my time on target on there. And I know now that it's my target is 1, 2, 3, 5, 0, 0. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 7, 0, 0 is my time on target for the strike group. So I'll enter that. I get the time on target on my MPCD, and then up on the HUD, you'll see you've got the little caret bracketing the bottom part of the airspeed indicator there, and it indicates far to the left, which is correct. If you look at the required ground speed on the left DDI, it's got 228 knots of ground speed, which is real slow. And as you've seen in my previous video, our task now is to manage that. So that's basically how you put the coordinates in these weapons. They're going to stay that way, so don't mess with it. And when you get to the target, just make sure going into the target that the now you should be in auto sequence as you're going through the low level. So you've got sequence. Once you go back to data, you'll hit auto, so it's boxed, and the computer will just sequence you through all the waypoints. When you cross waypoint 15, the IP, the waypoint should click over to 16, and once it does, you can unbox the sequence and you can waypoint designate waypoint 16, and that's all you have to do. You don't have to waypoint designate any other weapons, just that one, because remember, all the weapons have their own particular coordinate in there, and once you release them, they're going to come off and they're going to go to that coordinate. So that's pretty much it. Okay, here we are on the low level. We're well into it. We're approaching waypoint, I believe it's 15, so this is the IP coming up. And we're just terrain masking here behind the ridge to our right. And we're, if you look at the left DDI there, you can see that there's about a 90-degree turn coming up from our IP to the target. And we're going to swing a little wide on that anyways. But we want to make use of terrain masking as for as long as we can. And we're basically just setting up an angle from the arrival direction that the deed guys used, which is pretty much straight to the target from waypoint 14. So we're looking for a series of 4 towers, I think, and we just go a little bit beyond that and watch as the ridge kind of disappears, and here come the towers. And we want to just stay as low as we can because we want to stay below the ridge line there to the right. And right now we've been maintaining the caret, and that's okay. But as soon as we cross waypoint 15, we're going to turn and go into blower to get as much kinetic energy into the weapons as we can when we loft. You can see our TMR is over 4 minutes yet. We'll see how that changes here when we turn inbound. So we've transitioned to waypoint 16. I've reached down, unboxed, and I've gone ahead and waypoint designated waypoint 16. Now without any more ridge, we can't really mask except by trees and buildings, so we're going to stay as low as we can. And I'm just pulling my nose to the target. And then I'm just going to get down as low as I can. A couple of towers here, so it's a little bit hard to get too low here. Now we're going to get down. I'm in blower now, afterburner. And we're going to get as fast as we can. It looks like that we're well over 600 knots now. Look at the TMR's just dropping. It's gone in. We're in zone. So I'm going to pull to 30 to 35 degrees, hold it steady, and pickle off 4 weapons. There they go. And now I'm chaffing and flaring, and I'm pulling off to the right. And just hoping that I don't get caught up by a weapon. Take a quick peek. Don't see any weapons coming at me. And we're still going over 600 knots, so we're escaping pretty good. And here are the targets. Okay, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, looks like we got all 4 weapons. And it's burning. That's pretty much it, guys.